Hi, it's Elizabeth again, and welcome back to flip number 14. We left off with my ladies' brunch, and so the next day it was Draw It Friday, and Felicia had put on the Fauxbonichi journalers group a picture of this fish, like a step-by-step thing of how to draw it. So I drew my little fish, and I put "I'm done" quite literally. The background here, I had tried to do what Felicia does with her watercolors. She either uses the pencils or the crayons. I don't really remember what she uses. I think she uses a lot of the different things. But anyway, what she does is she puts the color down and then she uses a baby wipe to spread the color. So as you can see, this did not work all that well for me. But I really think it's just the paper, because this again is the composition book from Dollar Tree, and it just stinks. The paper stinks. So I can touch it and feel it, and it's just all nasty and gritty and pilly and bleh. So there's that page. Now this page here, it was about guilty pleasures, and I don't really have any guilty pleasures. I guess my only guilty pleasure would be like coming into my room at night before bed and just vegging and watching my YouTube stations and watching Grey's Anatomy or whatever I'm watching on Netflix. So I guess that would be my guilty pleasure. At the time when I wrote this, I didn't think about it because I don't really have a guilty pleasure. I just don't. But I guess watching those things would be my guilty pleasure. And then down here, I wrote about my swollen joints. For some reason, my joints on these two fingers, they're not swollen now. They hurt, but they're not swollen now. And they hurt and they swell up in the morning, and I don't know what the deal is. So this day it was on my mind because I had awakened that morning and they were swollen and they were sore, and I couldn't even hardly bend them. Now I can bend them, but they're just sore, and it's like these knuckles right here, these four knuckles. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if it's just arthritis kicking in or what. But anyway, so I thought this was so funny because when I drew these, it looked like I had man hands. Seriously, like it was horrible. Which, I mean, I don't think I have man hands, and I have my nails painted for you, and which the color will promptly come off after I finish doing these videos. And if you'll notice too, this hand isn't painted. I only painted my one showing hand. This showing hand. So anyway, so yeah, I had man hands that day, and it just reminded me of the episode in Jerry Seinfeld, and it was so funny. So yeah, Jerry Seinfeld will not be dating me with my man hands. And look, it's so funny too because this was back at the end of May, and I had no nails at all, and now I have nails. Huh? I don't know, something in the water. So anyway, this next day was Sunday, and we were coming home from the Keys, and so it was just a lazy day. Sundays are usually lazy days anyways, because we come home, we unpack everything, we put everything away, and then it's, my husband and I are just like, okay, it's time to watch Netflix, or HGTV, one or the other. And then this is a business card from Buzzard Roost, because this happened on this day. My daughter's boyfriend came down, and we just went over there for an early dinner. So that was yummy. And then this day here is Memorial Day weekend, and the prompt was things I'd rather be doing. So it was just about anything besides watching Big Handsome suffer, because he's still having just such a time with his poor little pancreas. Oh, but we'll get through it. We always do. And now it's just a trial and error kind of thing. So that's that. Memorial Day is, to me, is not all about barbecues and getting together, even though I'm sure that's quite fun. For me personally, it's quite a somber day, remembering all those servicemen and women that have sacrificed. So that's my take on Memorial Day. On this day here, the prompt was books I'd like to read, and here's the list of the books that I want to read. And I wrote about how when I was a kid, I really disliked reading. We did not read as children very much. I remember being in elementary school and being called on to read out loud, and I probably said 100 times and stumbled. And the teacher, I guess made, some kind of embarrassing comment or something, of course, and you get snickers from all the kids and whatever. And so, yeah, that was the end of it for me. I was like, I'm not reading anymore. And as growing up as kids, we didn't really have that many books that I remember. Not like now with myself, my husband, and my kids. I mean, we have bookshelves that are filled with books in just about every room of our house. I mean, the only place we don't have books, I don't think, is in my in-laws' room and in the kids' bathroom, I think. So yeah, every other place has books because we're all readers. My husband, he used to be an avid reader when I first met him, and he read a lot. And of course, being a teacher myself and then homeschooling my children, we read a lot. I mean, my daughter's first trip to the library, I think she was 8 months old in a stroller. So we've just always been a reading family. So as an adult, and after I met my husband and saw how much he enjoyed reading and and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I got turned on to reading from him, and so I really appreciate that. And now, my daughter loves to read. She loves to write as well. She writes fiction. And my son is more of a reader for information. So he loves any kind of nonfiction book, especially books about history. So he's a history buff and he loves that. So yeah, those are the books I'd like to read. And then this day here, the prompt by Lynn on the group was a $500 shopping spree. And if you had $500, what would you spend it on? And honestly, I know this sounds absolutely crazy, but I would not go to Michael's. I would not go to Hobby Lobby. I would not go to Joann's. You know my feeling on craft stores, or you should know by now. I would not go there. I don't need more stuff. I need to use the stuff that I have. But one thing that I would love to have, and if I had $500, I would hire a maid to come and clean my house from top to bottom, to come and clean both indoor and outdoor patios top to bottom. And if they had organizational skills, that would be a plus, because I would like them to organize my craft room while they're at it. So yeah, that's how I'd spend my money. This was about lessons learned, and one of the lessons that I've learned over the course of the last few years is every day is a new beginning. So I think that's important to remember. And then this day here, whoops, let me move it over here. This was talking about road trips and like vacations that you go on, I guess. And because we have a house down south, pretty much every weekend is a vacation for us. Not in the, I guess not in terms like other people go on vacation, but yeah, we go down there and we hang out down there. We go out to dinner, we go on the boat, we did, whatever. So we do that just about every weekend. And the last vacation we had gone on was to Washington, D.C. We had taken 2 weeks and driven by car from Florida all the way up the eastern seaboard we actually ended up in New York, but to see family. But in the middle, the main trip was to go to Washington, D.C. And I loved it. It was a great trip. But now we just, we don't go on very many trips. We used to go a lot doing different things. Like my husband would have business trips, and because we homeschooled, we'd go with him on his business trips. So we did used to go out of town a lot, but recently we haven't, and especially with my husband being sick over the last year, me being sick over the last 6 years, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, that was that. And this right here, was the first time I attempted to print on a pocket, or no, what are these things called? Project Life, on a Project Life cart. Felicia on the group had put, detailed instructions, which is what I need, on how to do it. And it didn't, it was like off center just by probably a few millimeters, but anyway, I think it turned out cute, so that was fun. And then, yep, you see it, a blank page. We'll get into that in a second. Anyway, so this day here, we were down in the Keys on Friday, and my husband's little sister and her family came down for a visit. So it was so nice because we hadn't seen them in a long time. And, well, it had been almost a year, I guess. So it was very nice to see them. And we took them down to the Keys. And this was the drawing prompt, which I messed up on here, I think, but whatever. And it just says fly away. And anyway, yeah, they came down, they stayed with us down at the house down south, and so we took them on a boat ride, and we had lunch at a restaurant down there that you can pull up, in your boat. You can park your boat. And so that was a lot of fun, and we had a good time. Saturday, what did we do Saturday? Well, see, now it's been so darn long, I don't remember. But I have this in there, which says farmer's market. So we must have taken them to the farmer's market. And that's what I was going to put here. Our trip to the farmer's market. And my daughter, for some reason, wanted a pineapple. So we bought her a pineapple. And I plant the tops in my backyard. So I have my own little pineapple field in my backyard. And yeah, so I need to do that. I need to finish that because I do not leave pages blank usually, but I just never did get back to this, which I will now that I know it's here. And this as well. But knowing that it was Sunday, it was probably another lazy day because like I said, we get home from the Keys and we unpack and we put everything away, and then we're both just wiped out, from that. So it's usually like a TV marathon thing after that. And then here starts my June Fauxbonichi. And I'm just going to go ahead and stop here, and I'll catch you on the next flip. Thanks for watching.